Welcome back to Genie and Jane Fiber Crafts. This is podcast number 4. It's been, let's see, I think the last one came out in August, so it's October, it's Halloween. So it's been, I don't know, like 3 months or something. I have finished 4 things since then, which is why I do this every couple of months, because I don't finish things like quickly. It's like 1 thing a month usually. So I don't have it with me, but oh, what am I wearing? Well, I'm wearing my Love Magic sweater. I finished this like 3 or 4 days ago. This is my Halloween sweater for 2022. It's, I have all my stuff written down. It is by Disco Stitch. I'll talk about it a little bit later when I do my FOs, when I like get to it chronologically. But as you can see, it's like the perfect witchy costume piece, wardrobe staple. It's got these like super drapey sleeves. It goes perfectly, you know, with the whole light Halloween costume feel. I've been like wearing this every day since I finished it. So, okay, let's go back. My finished objects since you last saw me. I did finish that Pure Joy shawl for my mom. I think the podcast came out on the 14th. My mom's birthday was a couple days after that, and I finished it probably like the day before her birthday or something. I don't have it with me because of course she has it, but I'll insert a picture here or here or somewhere. It's the Pure Joy by Locatelli. I pronounced that incorrectly last time, and it was knit in a shawl kit from Cornbread and Honey. It was in their light sock base, 75-25 blend. It was a lot of fun to knit. It was worked up in wedges. It was a crescent-shaped shawl. Ended up being really nice and drapey and flowy, perfect for my mom. A royal purple color, which is her favorite. So yeah, so she really liked it. I was glad to give it to her, and it was a lot of fun. FO number 2 is, I got it with me. This one was cast on and cast off, you know, between podcasts. So this is a cowl that I knit for my friend. This will be his Christmas present. He rides a motorcycle, and I knit him a cowl last year, which was like really nice, and it was cabled, and he really loved it. But then he was like, "Hey, Elizabeth, this is, I mean, it's knit really nicely, but when it's wintertime, it's really cold," because it had holes in it, right? Because it was just a normal cable knit cowl. So I was like, okay, I can make a felted cowl, and so hopefully this one will do better in like those freezing winter months when you want to go out riding, but you don't want to freeze your neck off. And I hope that this will fit and work. It's in his colors, so yeah, this is a pattern that I just sort of self-drafted. I just looked at a bunch of like cowl ideas and looked at my yarn and picked out a stitch count that worked. This is in Knit Picks, Wool of the Andes worsted weight yarn in the color Cloud, which is this stripe here, and then in Forest Heather, which is the green. And I felted this twice in my washing machine. It's 100% wool, non-superwash, and it's perfect. This is exactly how I pictured it. I'm really glad that it worked out. It took me like a week or 2 to make. It was just in the round. And so this is 1 gift knit done already, which is great. My third finished object is my September in Stockholm crop top, which is a ripple halter, which is a pattern by Jessie Maed. And I call it my September in Stockholm crop top because I went to Stockholm in September and I was knitting this, and for some reason this color is exactly the color of September to me, like this sort of golden marigold yellow color. This is the color of September, so I just like got this urge to cast this on, and I think it took me like a couple of weeks maybe. or actually, I think maybe it took me the entire month of September, probably like I cast this on end of August and I finished it up at the end of September. And this was knit in Aldine Wool's Indulgent Sock, which is a knit crate yarn. It is a wool, camel, and nylon blend. So it's super soft, it's really warm. I mean, it's a halter top, so it's like a summer knit, but since it's made of wool, it's also, you know, it's a very good transitional piece. And I really love this pattern. It was addictive. I think I knit, you know, the first half of this in like a week, which is unheard of for me. I'm a very slow process knitter. And then obviously this was really cool to take with me. It was in the round by the time I got on the plane to Stockholm, and which meant it was just a perfect travel project. So I've already worn this a ton and I really love it. So that is the Ripple halter. And then number 4, the one you've all been waiting for, is my Love Magic sweater. This is by Disco Stitch, as I said earlier. I knit it in Mrs. Crosby Carpet Bag, which is a discontinued yarn. It's in the colorway Muma Paduri, which is Romanian, and I still can't pronounce it. But I got this from Knit Crate. It's a 80/20 superwash merino silk blend, and oh my gosh, look at these sleeves. I mean, it's so drapey, it's so soft. It was just perfect. I mean, a match made in heaven. I don't know if I had the yarn or the pattern first, but whichever one when I had them in my mind, I was like, these need to go together. So this yarn was, I mean, it was just like serendipity, like the universe working out, that I saw the pattern and I saw the yarn, or vice versa, and I knew exactly what I wanted to make like a year ago, and I cast this on in May. It took me from May till June to knit the body. It took me from June until late October to knit one sleeve, which it was probably this one, I think. And then it took me 5 days to finish this sleeve because I only had like 5 days to finish it. So I cast this off like the 26th or something. It blocked. It took about 2 days to dry, which I was like getting nervous because I wanted to wear this for Halloween weekend. But it worked out. It's perfect. I did a whole photo shoot, which you can see some of the really cool photos that my friend took on my Instagram, which is at Genie and Jane. And yeah, I love this. It was, I knit the sleeves a little bit shorter than the pattern said because I don't like having my sleeves in everything. And since they're so drapey, I just felt like I needed to be careful with that. And yeah, so the sleeves are a little bit shorter. I didn't make any other modifications to the pattern. I knit it pretty much exactly as it says. It was a very easy pattern to follow, obviously very beautiful, and 10 out of 10 for the pattern. And the yarn is a little splitty. It's a single ply, so you have to be careful. But I mean, it just the finished product makes it so worth it. So I think this is gonna pill pretty easily because it's a single ply. It's a DK weight yarn, by the way, and but that's okay. I really love it. I love it a lot. So I'm really happy to have this in my wardrobe. What else can I say about this? I think that's probably it. Oh, I knit it a little bit cropped, and I know in the last podcast I was worried that it would grow when blocked. It didn't really. It didn't really grow at all. It, relaxed, and when I blocked out the lace, it worked really well, but it didn't grow as much as I had feared, which is great because it's the perfect length. It sort of brushes the top of my jeans, or just covers the waistband of them, and which is perfect because when you like reach up to a high shelf, it will like pull up a little bit, but not too much. And yeah, I couldn't be happier with this, really. It's just the perfect Halloween statement piece. I feel like a witch. I mean, obviously I'm dressed as a witch, but I feel like a witch when I wear it, which is perfect. Very festive, very seasonal. Okay, I'm going to pause there because my camera's going to cut out and then come back for my whips. So. All right, I'm back. So where were we? Whips. So since I was working pretty, I'm going to say monogamously, first on the Ripple halter and then on this Love Magic sweater, I don't have a ton of progress to show on whips. I have 2 new cast-ons, and I think that's probably it. I did a little bit of work on my my pumpkin spice scarf, which is that cable knit orange scarf that I talked about in like my first podcast. But not that much work, so I didn't even bring it over to show because it's like this much. It's probably not going to be finished by the fall. Well, who knows? Who knows? Maybe I will get super motivated to work on it and it will get finished. But it's like, it's just, I'm in it for the long haul, you know? It's just a long, long cable knit scarf. So, but my 2 new cast-ons since you've last seen me, I will start with the first one, which, oh, it's caught, hold on. There we go. It doesn't look like much of anything right now, but this will eventually be a seamless mock neck sweater, which is a pattern by Well Loved Knits. I saw this on when she finished it. Was it a year ago? A year and a half? I don't know. It seems like it hasn't been that long, but it's been living rent-free in my brain since then. Her original was a just gorgeous cornflower blue color, and I fell in love. And so I've always wanted to knit it. But then I got the Knit Crate yarn for September, I think, and it's this Audine Wools Mellow in the colorway Setting Sun. And the Mellow is an 80-20 alpaca tencel blend, which means it's super soft and it's super drapey. And it's a bulky weight yarn, so it's perfect for this pattern. Maybe a little bit, I think my gauge was a little bit off, like a little bit smaller than the pattern calls for. But I think it should be okay because it's supposed to be a really oversized, bulky sweater. And I think, I mean, I'm a small person. Things can be oversized on me without like actually being knit to an oversized size, if that makes sense. Like I will drown in this. And if I don't, that's also okay. Like I'm not against a close-fitting, nice alpaca sweater. So we'll see how this turns out. I think it was my row gauge that was more off than my stitch gauge. So I'll just be knitting to lengths instead of row count. Yeah. So yeah, this is, oh, I almost lost a stitch there. Yeah, I've been really enjoying this. It has this double fold 2x2 rib collar, which I love. It's so soft and squishy, and I know it's going to just be so nice. I'm really excited about this. You knit it down to itself. This was, I think, a pattern modification that the pattern designer put in, and I love it. I think it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, which I think is the refrain that you hear when people like knit something down with like live stitches. People usually say that, I guess, like, oh, I thought it was so hard, and then it wasn't. Which, yes, it was simpler than I thought. However, I wouldn't say it was easy. Maybe that was the yarn choice. Maybe that's just my inexperience. It was very fiddly, I'll say, and I had to like really take it slow and just do like one stitch at a time and not really think about how many I had to do or anything. But the collar was, it went very quickly, and then once it was knit down, it was pretty much smooth sailing from there. I have just split for the body. You really can't tell anything. It's so bunched up on this cable. But it is, trust me, this is the front that I'm working up now, and I'm knitting it back and forth. And I have just gone to the second skein of yarn. So the first one got me through the collar, and then the raglan increases, and then a little bit of the front, like maybe half the front or a third of the front. And then the second one hopefully will get me through the rest of the front and back, and a little bit more. So I think that's all I can say about this. I'm calling it, this is a little nerdy. I've been watching Inuyasha, the anime, recently, and I'm calling it the Fire Rat Sweater in honor of that. So that's just like me being an unapologetic nerd. And what can I say? It's just who I am. So that is whip number 1. Whip number 2 is, I talked about that. So whip number 2 is the Sophie scarf, which when I saw this come out, I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. I often wish for like a small scarf, just as like an accent piece, especially when I'm like going to work or something. And I recently started a new job, which has a very nice color palette for its branding. And the Knit Crate October yarn in their like sock crate was like exactly the colors of the branding. So I saw that. I had this leftover mohair from a hat that I made earlier this year, and I was like, put them together. It's a DK weight, and I'll knit the Sophie scarf. So this is what I've got so far. I cast this on like less than a week ago, a couple of days ago. And it's pretty addictive. It's in repeats of 8. So basically all I have to do is knit like an 8-row repeat every time I sit down and knit this, and then I don't like forget what row I'm on. So it is the Sophie scarf by PetiteKnit. The mohair is Knit Picks Aloft in the color Koi, and then the fingering weight yarn is Knitology Cozy Sock in Afterglow, and the Cozy Sock is a 75-15-10 blend of superwash merino, nylon, and cashmere. So I'm sure it would be super nice even without the mohair, but to make it a DK weight, I added the mohair. Honestly, I sort of wish that I had bought some bright pink mohair, because as I'm knitting this up, the yarn's sort of I'm going to say variegated. It's not quite self-striping, but it's got a lot of color changes in it. And the colors that I like most are the pinks and purples, and I wish that I had chosen a pink mohair to sort of accentuate that instead of this orange, which mutes it down. But I had the orange in my stash, and what else was I going to use it for? So it is what it is. I might knit another one. I have 2 skeins of this yarn, which means I will definitely not use it all up on this Sophie scarf, even though I'm knitting the larger size. And so maybe I will buy pink mohair and knit another one, but we'll see. I'm not sure if I'll need 2 of these in my wardrobe, you know. All right, so that's it. That's all the cast-ons that I have in 3 months, or cast-ons that are currently being worked up, because I did cast on a couple and then cast them off. Let me check my time. How am I doing? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just cut this off here just to be careful, because I really hate it when my camera cuts off in the middle of me talking. That's just the worst. We're gonna avoid that this time. So hold on. Okay. So my camera is dying, so I'm going to do these acquisitions pretty quickly. So last podcast, in podcast 3, I was really proud of myself. I had only got 9 skeins of yarn to add to my stash in like that whole 4-month period or whatever it was. And this month, or this podcast, I've not done so well as last time. In my defense, Knit Crate had a large sale. I went to Sweden, and it was Halloween. So those are all like my weak points, you know, traveling, sales, and Halloween. So I've added 45 skeins to my stash. I don't regret any of them. They were all intentional. So well, the Knit Crate stuff was sort of just like, oh my god, I've always wanted to make a sweater in this, so one day I'll make a sweater and I'll just get the yarn for it now. So that was a little bit more impulse buy-ish, but I just love the Knit Crate yarn so much. So from Knit Crate, I'll start there. I got one skein. Here, they're right here. Okay, so I got various amounts of these yarns. This is the Audine Wool's Mellow, which the Fire Rat sweater, my seamless mock net sweater, is being made of. This is Audine Wool's Mellow. It is 80/20 alpaca tencel, bulky weight, 125 yards to 100 grams. And this is amazing, and I've already started working this up, so it doesn't feel so much an acquisition as a work in progress. It's already earmarked. It's already started, actually, so yes, I had 7 skeins of this that I got between when you last saw me and now, which is enough. It should be just enough for a sweater. So hopefully I'll use all of this, or almost all of this. Then I got 1 skein of Uru Yarn Asher in the colorway Shabby Chic. This is what I made my My Little Secret crop out of, but in the colorway Old Barn. And I want to make another one of those, or another summer top, and I probably won't get to this till the spring, but it's just, I mean, it was on sale and I already had that like project idea anyway, so I figured just to pick one up, I would only need one for the shirt. So there's this. This is a 34% cotton, 35% linen, 19% lyocell, 11% nylon. It's a sport weight, 351 yards to 100 grams. And I've already knit with this, so I know that I enjoy knitting with this. It's a very good summer yarn. Then I got sweater's quantity of this. This is Audine Wool's Chill. I have this in a bunch of other colorways already, but I really want to make either a cable knit sweater or maybe a lacy kind of sweater out of this. It's 90% Surrey alpaca and 10% cashmere, so it's super luxurious. It's a worsted weight, so 150 yards to 100 grams, which is why I got 10 skeins of this, and that will be enough to make a sweater for me. Okay. And yeah, so this is this, it's in the colorway A Little Cabanectomy, which is their brown colorway, and it's just a very nice classic color, I think, and I think it'll make a nice like wardrobe staple sweater that's also just a little bit luxurious because of the cashmere and alpaca. So no immediate plans for this, but we'll see what happens. And then, last but not least, I got 5 skeins of this. This is Vita Lana Ambient Sock in the colorway Feathers. It is a fingering weight, 80/20 wool nylon, 400 yards to 100 grams. And this is non-superwash wool. I think it's non-superwash. It feels non-superwash, and it was not labeled superwash, so I'm going to assume that it's not. That's why I bought it anyway, because it's rare to find fingering weight non-superwash wool for a decent price. So I don't have any immediate plans for this either. I just, it was on sale, and it's like a dark, they called it purple. It's like a purpley, grayish, bluish, black color. So I'm not sure what I'm going to make with this, but it'll be something nice. So that's what I got at the Knit Crate sale. Let me just go through my list, make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, then there was also the Knit Crate yarn that I'm making the Sophie scarf out of, which is down here. This is the second skein that I haven't wound up yet. So it's, as I said before, Knitology Cozy Sock in the colorway Afterglow. It's 75% superwash wool, 10% cashmere, 15% nylon, fingering weight, 439 yards to 100 grams. And these are the colors that I was really obsessed with when I saw them. And I think the pink is my favorite. So when I knit something else with this, if I decide to mohair with it, I'll probably put a pink mohair instead of orange. So that's the Knit Crate acquisitions. Then I went to Sweden. I went to Sweden for a week, and I knew I was going to be coming home with yarn, so I left room in my bag for it. I ended up with 5 skeins of this Swedish milled wool. I am not sure if it is from Swedish farms. Online it says it's from New Zealand, I think, but in the store it said Swedish, so I'm not sure. But it was at least milled in Sweden, and I got 5 skeins of this, so enough to make a colorwork sweater, and it's Campus. I'm not even gonna, something Swedish. It's a 2-ply, 100% wool, just beautiful natural yarn. It smells like sheep. And these 2 are natural colorways. I got this pale natural and then this dark natural, undyed, and then I got this red one. And I was inspired by the runestones. They weren't originally if you look at a picture of a runestone, I'll insert one here. They are this sort of pale stone, and then in the carvings, they've painted red. This is not how they would have originally looked. Originally, they would have been, colored in, I think it's black, white, and red. I think that's why I chose these colors. I'll have to check that. So if I'm wrong, there'll be a note here saying that I'm wrong. But I wanted to knit a sweater that was inspired by the runestones, which I got to see and touch, and they were really cool. So, yeah, that's what I have. This colorwork sweater probably won't be cast on for a while, but I am very excited for it when it does happen. Okay, let's go down there. I also got, hold on, it's down. Okay. I also went to Sweden knowing that I needed to come back with Rauma Finu, and so I did. I have 7 skeins of this. This is the colorway that I'm gonna use. This is gonna be a colorwork cardigan. I'll probably knit it in the round and then steek it. I have pattern ideas, but I haven't committed to one yet. I got, let's see, 4 skeins of this. This is 0406. So I have 4 skeins. This is my main color. I got 2 skeins of this. This is my first contrasting color, which is 4036. And I just love this cornflower blue. And then I have just this 1 skein of this berry color. It is 0466. And I think they're just going to look really nice together. So I also picked up 2 skeins of this papyrus yarn in a local yarn store in Stockholm. And this is 78% cotton, 22% silk. 131 yards to 50 grams. So what is that, sport weight? And I saw this, I sort of felt a sample knitted from this, and it just seemed like it would be a great summer top. So I won't be casting this on, obviously, until next summer or later, but it just seems like it would be a really nice yarn to knit with. And I think I saw someone who made something from this. Maybe it was Knitting Traditions, Inga? I don't remember. But I felt it and I was like, oh, I should make myself a top. It's nice, flowy, drapey, soft, and I'm a sucker for that. So yeah, I have 2 balls of this. Okay, so that was my Swedish yarn haul, or my yarn haul from Sweden. And then I also have some Halloween yarn to show you. I got 4 Halloween sock wool balls from Hobie because they were having a sale in 4 different colors. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one's the glitter sock yarn. But I just couldn't resist. They're very Halloween-y. It's for next year or the year after or something. Maybe I'll knit this not in Halloween season because I just love Halloween all year round. So these are fingering weight, 73, well, this one is a sparkle one, so it's 73% wool, 25% polyamide, and 2% polyester. That's the sparkly bit. This is superwash, I believe. And now that I feel this, maybe the other sock yarn isn't superwash, or is superwash. I'll be sad if it is. So this is superwash sock yarn, which many people have used before and seems to be a good cost-effective yarn. I've never tried it, so this one has sparkles. These three don't, and I'm not sure what I'm making with them, but I'm a sucker for Halloween. So that is that. And then the last acquisition that I have is a sock set from a hand-dyed yarn store. This is from Less Traveled Yarn. I got there. This was a pre-order, but it was like a restock of a pre-order or something, or they had like a couple extra in the back or something, so they like listed those, and so I got in on the second round. This is the Slutty Pumpkin sock set with a mini skein of Vanta, and it's on their 757 sock base, which is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon, and it's 463 yards plus a 92 yard mini. So just look at how pretty this is. I couldn't resist. I have no plans yet, but I will. Maybe socks, maybe like a shawl or like a scarf. Oh, now that I say that, there is this one shawl pattern that's like a spider web. I might look at the yardage requirements and see if this will work for that, because I think that'd be really cool. I'll put a picture of it here. I forget what it's called. Like web shawl or something. It's a crocheted shawl with fingering weight. So maybe I'll do that, actually. We'll see. I'm sure you'll know. You'll find out eventually what I end up making with this. Okay, if my camera hasn't cut out, that is it for acquisitions. It's 45 skeins, which is, I make no excuses. It's a bit much. But each one, you know, it is what it is. I've spent the money. They're now in my home. I will take care of them. And I'm thinking about maybe going through some of my old yarn and destashing what doesn't spark joy anymore. Because I do have a lot of acrylic that I don't think I'll ever use. And some of the older things that you sort of get when you start knitting or crocheting that you don't really know what you like yet, so you're sort of buying anything, and then as you figure out what you do like to work with or the patterns that you like to make, it's just sort of useless to you. And I've discovered that I really like making wearables, especially sweaters and tops and things that I can just like have in my everyday wardrobe. So I have a lot of small quantities of yarn that wouldn't work for that kind of thing. Maybe a shirt, but like it's not yarn that I would want in a shirt, you know, or so I'm gonna have to go through that, go through all of my yarn to sort of see what still fits in my life and what doesn't, and figure out how to destash or what to do with it. So that's a plan of mine. And then other plans, knitting plans, I really want to finish my red sweater, my seamless mock neck / fire rat sweater, in time for Christmas. I think I want it to be my Christmas sweater, and I want to finish up my Sophie scarf in time for, I'm traveling to a few conferences for work, so I want to wear it then. And those are in December. So those will be my immediate plans. I don't have any like cast on plans right now. I'm sort of just trying to finish some stuff up, going with the flow. You know, I might end up casting on my Roma Phenol colorwork cardigan, because I am pretty excited to work with that. Or I might return to my Dandelion Honey lace cardigan, which I talked about in, I think, episode 2, which was in a Kent lace from Bare Naked Wools. And I am like still working on the swatch for that because like other things came up. And I'm sort of like eyeing it again and thinking about, you know, how nice it would be to have that in my wardrobe for the spring. So we'll see. I'll let you know. And if you want to follow my more day-to-day like knitting journey, knitting plans and acquisitions and things, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I am at Genie and Jane. And yeah, I don't post super regularly. I mean, this is, again, a hobby of mine, but I do post more regularly there than on here. And I feel like I should say, I will be posting a summer wrap-up video, but I missed the window for it to be only summer. So it'll be more like a summer-fall wrap-up video. And I will do that, I promise. If I miss the window for fall, it will just be a 2022 wrap-up because I really want to do one. It's just that life happened. I started a new job, you know. So I think that's it. Please, if you liked this, feel free to subscribe. I'm sort of on a 2 or 3 month cycle here where there's enough finish that I can talk about it. And so the next one will probably be around Christmas time, maybe the new year. We'll see. Probably Christmas time. I probably will want to talk about my gift knitting. So yeah, that's it for expectations. And thank you so much for watching. It's been great to share this with you and to talk to a camera, but to talk to someone who's here, interested, and hopefully knitting along with me. So let me know if you liked this, if you want to see, if you have ideas, if you saw if you've used any of this yarn before and you want to tell me what you made with it, like that would be great. Because I'm always open to new ideas, knitting inspiration, crochet inspiration, and sewing inspiration. So I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't know. I'm sure it'll come to me when I'm reviewing the footage. If there's anything I'm forgetting, it will be on the screen here. But thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.